It's Madden NFL 23, and the spotlight is on the rookie, Breece Hall. He had the D's number a week ago, over 150 yards rushing. It's the Steelers and the Buccaneers, just ahead on EA Sports.
But not far from where the Steelers' former homes at Three Rivers Stadium, Forbes Field once stood, we are at Pittsburgh's Acrisure Stadium. Today, we've got a Week 6 matchup for you here between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Pittsburgh Steelers. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we look at this Steeler ball club entering play. We're in October now, so everybody should be coming into form, shouldn't they?
They really should, and what you have now is a full routine established about what you want to get done and full focus on the season.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Bucs, it's been a good season for them so far. They're just looking to keep that momentum going forward.
They like their record. Now they want to increase it. A win here could really get the momentum going in the right direction.
Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. Donovan Peoples-Jones now from the end zone. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. They'll be led out by the third overall pick in the 2021 draft, Trey Lance.
And the guys on the other side of the ball know they'll have to be on their toes. And it's obviously not just the passing, but the running element that makes him dangerous. He ran for over 100 yards in that game last week, so keeping him contained will be a big emphasis for this defense.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Throwing first play is Lance. Flushed out right. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard. Here's Lance to throw it. Got a man open. That's Devontae Parker complete. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
When Devontae Parker can play a full schedule, he can be a lot to handle for NFL defenses. 8 years in the league, but only one where he's played all the games in the regular season. But in that regular season, over 1,200 yards, 9 touchdowns. Nice catch there for a first down.
Shifts past him at the 45. 2 yards the gain on the keeper, and it's 2nd down. Lance looking to throw it. He'll get this to his tight end. That's Pat Freiermuth. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 28. A good pick up there of 20 yards. Pretty solid opening drive here, Charles. They've worked in the run game, the pass game, just steadily getting yards, and now they've got it inside the red zone here with an opportunity.
And the only thing they don't have so far is points. But the way that they're moving the ball now, that shouldn't take much longer. And they've established a great balance so far. Running, passing, doing what they want on offense.
They'll run for the first time with James Conner. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Now a draw play. This is Conner. And he'll get this pretty close to a first down as he's tackled at the Steelers' 18-yard line. Lance going to try and throw on 3rd down here. Escaping the pressure right. Open man, that's the tight end Freiermuth. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
They brought in a heavy set on 3rd down, and that usually means running play, but we have seen them throw out of that formation, and sure enough, they snuck the tight end out on that one, wound up hitting him for a first down. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
from the gun, again to counter. And he stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Here's Connor on the read option. And here he'll get it down to the 7. So play number 10 now coming. It's been a long opening drive, but this is 3rd down. Throwing now is Lance. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And oh, he's just going to be short here, barely, maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches.
Over here, so open out tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
And Gay knocks this one through, and the Bucs take a 3-0 lead. So a long drive gets them down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So here are the Steelers now to take over for the first time. They'll be led out by the 7th overall pick back in 2018 from Wyoming, Josh Allen.
I remember when he came out of Wyoming, the big question mark, could he be accurate enough to be a star in the NFL? I think it's safe to say he's put all of us in our place and put those doubts to rest. He can roll out and run it. He can bomb it over your heads. Everything in between. He is an absolute nightmare for defenses to try and prepare for. And when he's on, he's an MVP caliber player each and every time he takes the field.
Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. And the Buccaneers are going to take possession of the football. So a first interception thrown for him there, and that really not the best decision either.
Not at all, and that's something he did not do in their victory last week. No interceptions in that game, but this defense, they're able to take advantage of an early mistake. Now let's see if they're going to turn it into points.
Tampa Bay, they're getting ready to set up shop here for their second drive. Well, what do you think? You get the ball off the turnover near the middle of the field. You take a shot here in the first play?
You know I'm big on that. I love when I have great field position. After a turnover, I feel like I might have them a little bit off balance. I prefer to take a shot, but a lot of coaches will tell you, you only do it if you trust the guy who's got the football in his hands. Meaning, if it's not there, he won't force it downfield and maybe turn into an interception. He'll go to the check down, go to a second option, and go ahead and take the play that's in front of him.
And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. From the gun on 3rd down, Lance. And over the middle, this is Parker. And he is going to have the Buccaneers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, we use the term pitch and catch a lot to denote an easy completion. We just saw one right there on 3rd and 3 to pick up the first down.
Why are those so tough to defend? Just because they hit so quickly?
Yeah, it's all about timing and confidence. Quarterback sees it, rips it, there you go.
They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. The Lance going to throw. He's going to have the hook up to Gage. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here. They'll try and run for it with Connor. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the first. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
And we tend to give those running backs that are slashers a lot of credit, but how about guys who are maulers? Because that's what you want in short yardage situations, and we just saw that occur right there, didn't we?
Vertical, downhill running. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Working from the gun, Lance. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. James Conner His third touchdown now on the year as his guys are able to extend their lead.
Well, Charles, he's still a young signal caller in this league, second year in the NFL. But I don't know if last year as a rookie, if he would have worked through his progressions like he did on that touchdown pass.
I think you're right about that. We're seeing him grow up right in front of our eyes because when he went to his primary read, he recognized that they were all over that. So he continued to survey the field, picked up another target, delivered a pass exactly where it needed to be. A very mature play for the second-year quarterback.
So an early 10-0 lead for him now as they kick it away. This fielded right at the goal line. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19.
So Pittsburgh retakes the field for their second offensive possession.
Well, Charles, it's kind of gut check time. Look, I know it's early, first quarter, just their second drive of the game, but they've already thrown the interception, given up the score. You're down double digits. They got to figure out something, and pretty quickly here.
No doubt about it. And when we look at that sideline, I'm sure you're observing the same thing I am. I don't like the body language at all. They look like they're in a state of stunned disbelief. So to me, we always talk about someone stepping up and making a big play. I think it would behoove them if multiple guys step up and make big plays right now. They need something positive to happen, and they need for it to happen now.
So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24.
They run with a second-round pick from Iowa State. This is Breece Hall.
Good strength, but not able to get a whole lot. Tackled shy of the 10. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to air it out deep for Green. And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete. Here's Brett Kern now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away.
Well, on that punt, we've got a man shaken up. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment.
The Buccaneers in good field position here to start out 1st and 10 at their own 42.
And Lance now to throw.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Now Lance completes it again to Gage. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
An 8-yard pickup. 1st down, Buccaneers.
On 1st and 10, here's Lance.
Oh, this is going to be caught along the sidelines. Probably shouldn't have been caught. He's going to lose yardage there.
Now Lance again. He's got his tight end Freiermuth over the middle. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line. To throw, it's Lance.
And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. He's got the leg, but it's no good. He missed it right, and the lead will hold at 10.
It looked good when it lifted his foot, but he kind of sliced it a little bit, and he winds up missing it wide right.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. Allen off the play fake. Going for Hilton, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by Aaron Stokes. And the Bucs are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line.
And partner, I think this is where long-term starters in the NFL separate themselves from the rest of the pack, because there's still 3 full quarters left in this one. More than enough time to move past a pair of early mistakes and find a way to lead your team to a win. Mental resiliency, a characteristic every NFL team's looking for in their quarterback.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at the 40. They start with a give to Connor, and nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. Throwing on 2nd and 8, Lance. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8.
Here's Lance.
Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and of course, foot dragging.
Little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
2nd quarter now, and it's Buccaneer football.
Jake Bailey on now to punt here on 4th down.
Back deep, Jakeem Grant. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35.
Josh Allen and the offense heading back out. He's been picked off twice in this ball game already. And they'll try to sort things out here as they begin with the 1st down.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. So they'll get 8 out of that completion, and they'll be left with 2nd and a couple.
On 2nd down, a run with Hall.
And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
The Steelers at 3-2, a game over 500 here to start the season. And they come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And they were able to tough it out last week, a close 1-score game. And those are the kind of wins that pull you together as a team, because everyone gains confidence and they feel like they can continue to get better.
On 1st down, right back to Hall.
And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
1-yard gain brings us 2nd and 9.
Allen. Over the middle, he's got Gesicki, the big 6'5" tight end.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the 1st here.
Now on 3rd and 2, they're going to elect to throw with Allen, eluding the pressure right. It's complete here to T.Y. Hilton. And this is going to lead to another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Bucs 26. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards.
Now that's all about making something happen as a quarterback, because instead of forcing something on 3rd down, how about him buying some time outside of the pocket, waiting for someone to come open, and when he did, he put it on him for a big play and a 1st down.
Back to the ground with Hall. Oh, fine work there as he gets this thing down to the 11-yard line.
Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Allen now looks to throw. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
So a critical mistake, roughing the passer. Now it's 1st and goal.
Straight ahead is Hall.
And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. A carry here for the big tight end. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Three tight ends up front here, third and goal. They'll try to run it here with Hall. Yeah, he pushed forward, but I don't think it's enough. He's going to be about a yard short. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard. Well, let's see what they do. They're knocking on the door here in the second quarter.
And you know what you look at on your play sheet? Your 2-point conversion plays, because you've drawn up a number of them in today's football. You don't just have 1 or 2 for the game. You have more like 6 or 7. Which one do you like here? Because that's essentially what you're going for right now. That spot of the field, call one of those and go get 6.
So on 4th down, the Steelers call on the number of Chris Boswell for the field goal try. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. Boswell's kick is good, and they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. So it was 4th and 1 down in the red zone, but they elect to take just the 3.
And I'm a little surprised that that's how they decided to play it, that they didn't go for it there. But sometimes just take those 3 points and put them in your pocket. I just have one question for you, partner.
Okay.
Hip pocket or back pocket?
This will be fielded inside the 5. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. This offense back out and set to go for their next drive. Obviously not the intended goal last drive. They had to punt the football, but still they've got the lead here and now a chance to add on to that lead if they can get points on this drive. 1st and 10 upcoming. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. Pass rusher extraordinaire, D Ford that time getting the sack.
In every game we talk about what are going to be the keys as we go into it. Maybe that's a key for their defense today. Pressure the quarterback and make sure you play a good zone defense behind them, and they get their first sack of the contest.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Now whistles here before the snap. Looked like one of the Bucs may have moved. Oh, jumping early from his tight end spot. Maybe trying to get a jump start on that route.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right about that. And oftentimes when you see that, that means the play call was supposed to come in his direction, and he was eager to go catch a pass.
Running right through him. And he'll be taken down at the 18. The offense on 3rd down, they've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This will be 3rd and 15. Now a loose football. The ball comes out. And he'll get this to the 23, but that'll be well short of what he needed.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Here's Jake Bailey now. It's a 45-yard punt, just a 1-yard return. And the Steelers are going on offense here, 1st and 10. Breece Hall helped leading out this offense for another series. And we checked the rushing numbers so far here into Week 6, and the returns have been really good. Now, you're starting to hit that stride middle of the season toward the end. They're certainly hoping they can keep up this production.
They are, because one of the adages in the NFL is that defense travels and defense endures even in bad weather, right? You know what else does? A good running game. And people want that, especially as you head down the stretch. You may play outdoors in some nasty stuff. You're trying to get to the playoffs. This is the time to get it going. And individually, I don't think you should just think about 1,000 yards either. The bar has to be set higher with this beginning.
On 1st and 10, it's Hall. And slow going there as he'll only get a yard, maybe, up to the 41. On 2nd and 9, Allen. This is caught by Hilton. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. A 1st down there on a pickup of 25.
Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him, and he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
Now Allen. This one grabbed by A.J. Green. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. Add the gain here to the previous play, and it's better than 40 yards total.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is a receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down. Out of the gun, they run it with Hall. And he's able to break out of one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Now play number 8 on this drive, and they need 9 yards to pick up the first on 3rd. Here's Allen to throw it. They'll set up the screen for Hall. And he'll get nothing out of that one. Good contain, no gain on the screen, and it'll bring up 4th down.
And I know that one didn't work out the way they thought, but I don't think it was a bad time to call this play. You're thinking on 3rd down, you might possibly see some pressure. You might see a blitz. So they tried to set up the screen, but that one was well read, and they stopped them for no gain.
Now Chris Boswell for the Steelers field goal try. From the left hash, a chip shot here. Boswell's kick is good, and that'll bring him back within 4. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
And he won't quite make it to the 25. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. As we eat closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one can.
Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And the Steelers will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line. Well, certainly not his best throw that time, and not a good time to make it, Charles, when they were a nickel with 5 defensive backs on the field.
And that's exactly why you have those 5 DBs out there. You want extra speed on the field, guys who have ball skills and understand what the passing game can do, and gives them a chance to react and make a play on the football, and they take one of those away.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Edwards. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. From just shy of midfield, Allen, the quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete. So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Now Allen. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on 3rd.
That's a big conversion there on 3rd down because they did not want to give the ball up here late in the half. They'd love to take the clock all the way down and score. This will definitely help the cause.
Allen to throw once more. And the catch made by Hilton. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line.
To throw again on second down. Allen.
This pass out wide to Hall. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
Well, he was a busy man out of the backfield a week ago. They got the ball early and often. I have no doubt in my mind that he'll be a big part of the game plan here as well.
On first down, Allen. And he's got the hook up to Landry. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
Ahead of the chains now, 2nd and 2.
Now Allen. Throw left side complete. That's Hall. Now another timeout called for by the offense, as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. A third field goal of the first half, not what they're looking for as they come up on 3rd down. To throw, it's Allen. There's Hall bringing in another one. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs' 13-yard line. 13 yards down to the 13.
But it certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the first half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball possibly in the open field. And I think in the second half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back inside.
Operating from the red zone now. Allen. Got a man, and it's a fumble. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line. Wait a second, they declined the penalty?
I'm as puzzled as you are, partner. I don't understand how any time you lose possession of the ball, yet you turn down a penalty that would give you possession back. Now let's make this simple. Anyone who plays the game, take the football. Always take the football.
So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game, as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks. A few teams starting to rise to the top as it's time to take you around the NFL here in Week 6. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Moving on, let's take a look at the next-gen stats in the first half for Tampa Bay. And even though they've got a halftime lead, they're likely devising ways as we speak to try and get a little more production from their passing game. Meanwhile, for the Steelers, they too didn't throw the ball as well as they would have liked. And I think both teams would say there's room for improvement in the second half.
Okay, Coach, yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. This will be fielded inside the 5. And the Steeler offense ready to get going here in this third quarter. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well. They've kept them around in this game. Now they got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Allen going to throw. On the slant, complete to Green. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Here's Allen. toward the sideline, and he will have the first down as he was able to keep the feet in bounds. Throwing on first down is Allen. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Multiple defenders getting to him there for a huge loss.
That was a bouncer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense and kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
After the sack, oh, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's 2nd and a country mile. Another try after the first down sack. Allen over the middle and into the hands of his receiver Landry.
And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
That's a good bounce back play right there after taking a sack on first down. Didn't quite get it to the marker, but now they're in a much better spot for a 3rd and short yardage call. If you're the offensive coordinator, you like looking at that section a heck of a lot better than trying to figure out 3rd and long.
And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
If you were going to choose a franchise back from the 2022 class, most figured it would be Breece Hall out of Iowa State, and he was the first guy off the board to the New York Jets. More than looked the part of a bell cow offensive cornerstone at Iowa State, and by testing numbers, one of the best athletes we've seen enter the league at his position.
Ball again.
And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
Hall ought to give up the middle. And this defense not ready for that one as he'll take this down inside the 25. 70 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
But they're getting ready to go to work now in prime real estate after that last run. Found his spot and picked up nice yardage, didn't he?
And now he's got him knocking on the door of the red zone. Here's Allen on 1st and 10. Flush to his right. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. A wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now 2nd down. To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Allen.
That's complete. Once again, it's Gesicki. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
Throwing is Allen on 3rd. Looking for the out route. It's completed to Landry.
And the Steelers are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
A field goal helps, but a touchdown gets you the lead. That had to be the message transmitted in the huddle. And they delivered there as that throw is going to keep the drive alive. And even better than that, set them up with a 1st and goal.
Again, they'll throw with Allen. That is incomplete. Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. Allen. Forced out to his left. They'll wind up losing a full 10 yards on the play. And that'll make it 3rd and goal. To the air, Allen. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Green. They are able to get 9 yards out of that, but now it's 4th down.
Brandon, a good idea there on third down. Run a little clear out and hope you can get your receiver the ball coming across the formation. Nice design, but well played defensively, and they stop him well short.
Now Chris Boswell for the Steelers field goal try. This a 27-yard attempt here. Boswell's kick is good, and that gets him back within a single point. It's now 10-9.
So they were facing the deficit coming out of the locker room at intermission, and at least they're able to get the field goal to cut into that deficit.
Yeah, now your offense feels pretty good about itself, right? A little bit more up to speed coming out of the break. You turn to your defense now and say, hey, we got 3 there. We're chipping into the lead. Can you help us out? Hold them. Let's get the ball back for us.
Here comes the Buccaneers offense. They get their first reps of the second half.
Now this game, it has obviously been all about the defense on both sides of the football. Which offense is going to break through here? We'll see if they can do it on this drive. On first down, Lance.
He's going to have the hook up to Gage. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. 33 yards that time.
I guess that answers the question of whether or not they're going to try to play conservative and protect this lead in the third quarter.
And I think this is something we're seeing more and more of in the NFL. Teams not playing to protect leads, teams playing to extend them.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Out of the shotgun, they'll run with Connor. And they'll be stopped at the 28 on a play that started at the 14. They pick up 14.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Right back to Connor here on first.
61 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What is it, 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they'll get to that end zone real fast.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he'll be out of bounds. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again.
And that's a nice job of working his way open down in the red zone. Looked that one in and then made a beeline for the pylon. He didn't quite get there, and you want to give him a little extra for the effort. But instead, he sets his guys up in excellent shape with a 1st and goal.
Connor. It's a loss of 4 on the first down play.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
From back at the 4, here's 2nd and goal.
The Lance going to throw.
And he hauls it in for the Buccaneer touchdown. Donovan Peoples-Jones from 4 yards out. And they are able to add on to their advantage. And down near the goal line here, they're able to throw it in.
And the key word, quick. Quick hitter. Out of his hands fast, into the receiver's hands even faster.
Here's Gay now to add the extra point. And with that, the lead is up to 8. So that drives 6 plays, 75 yards. And it ends with a touchdown for the Bucs. the touchdown. Here's Gay to kick it away. This taken in at the goal line. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. The Steelers ready for their next possession. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
To throw again on second down. Allen. And he rifles it complete. Caught by Landry. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gets him a first down.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play call should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
And this is going to be a Steelers first down as he'll get this up to about the 42.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
Allen now on first down. Over the middle here, it's Hilton. And they're going to get this up to midfield.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
From midfield, here's Allen. Oh, Allen cannot get away, and down he goes. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's third down.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has now received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
From the gun, it's Allen. And check down, complete to Hall. And to the 46 he goes and no further, so he is well short of the first down marker. That's going to bring up 4th down, only a gain of 2 there.
How about that strategy there, Brandon? 3rd down, they just said, we've got faith in our tacklers. We'll give you the short stuff, and just decided to protect the sticks. So every time I hear fans telling me tackling's not a part of the game anymore, plays like that, I can clip and save and show them you have to tackle well if you want to be a good defense.
And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. A time to get another look at this Buccaneer offense. The offense coming back out here, plenty of energy, ready to roll, looking to just add to what they have been doing after scoring a touchdown, Charles, their last time out.
And that's a great feeling to have on the sideline, partner, knowing you just won the battle against the opposing defense. And since they came off the field, I guarantee you all they want to do is get back out there because they know they have the upper hand on that defense right now.
Deep Ford able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
That's his 2nd sack of the game, and the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. On the draw, Connor. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. This offense on 3rd down today, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is going to be 3rd and 13. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll only get this to about the 35, well short of the line to gain. So the completion good for 6 yards. And that's going to make it 4th down. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
And the punter Bailey on now as he sends this one away.
Going to be a 43-yard punt, just a single yard on the return.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
And now out come the Steelers.
Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. Now Hall to start the drive.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3. On 2nd and 7, Allen. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down. Here's Allen to throw it.
And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. And the Buccaneers are going to take possession of the football.
I think this one went awry very simply because he overestimated his arm strength and his ability to fit it anywhere he wants to. A lot of quarterbacks do that and often pay the price.
The Buccaneers getting ready to go as they take the field.
Another important 4th quarter series coming up. That last INT helping to maintain their slim advantage.
On 1st and 10 is Connor. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Connor going to get it again on 2nd down.
And he'll get a couple here down to the 22.
Throwing his Lance on 3rd down.
And that is incomplete. Something we haven't really seen much of from him. An incomplete pass.
Yeah, last week he finished at 70%. This week he's up over 80%. I don't know how you slow him down. Pass rush is usually the best way because a quarterback on his back usually can't complete a pass.
So that CD, an important one here in the 4th quarter.
And that importance cannot be overstated. All eyes on both sidelines were staring that one down all the way. The significance is that they made it a 2-score game. Still lots of time left to go, but likely that was their goal at the start of the drive. Get 3 points, make it a 2-score game, and they were able to get it done.
The Steelers ready to take over on offense. A tougher task for them now. That turnover on their last possession led to the field goal, meaning that they have to now try to erase a 2-score deficit here in the 4th.
Over the middle, he's got Gesicki, the big 6'5" tight end. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Throwing again on 2nd down. Allen. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Tyus Bowser in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
And the Bucs with an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down. Now Allen. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Here's Brett Kern now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50. 1st and 10. And Tampa Bay trots out there now.
They've got a chance now to put this game away following that last defensive stop and punt.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage.
Lance looking to throw it.
Got a man, and he hits him in stride.
And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40. Lance to throw on 3rd and 1. And they're going to move it down inside the 25.
It's a gain of 17 yards.
That is an absolute backbreaker. That was a design passing play, wasn't a draw. You think you got him stopped, good coverage downfield, and he's able to pick up the first with his legs. Defensively, that kicks into your psyche and hurts a little bit, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and here's the thing. Anytime you give up a first down, it hurts you psychologically, but it hurts more when they get it this way because you've covered everything. He didn't have any place to throw the football. He takes off running and picks it up anyway, and now you have to stay on the field for an extra set of downs.
And really could have used that stop trailing here in the 4th.
On 2nd and 9, Lance. That's complete to his tight end, Freiermuth. And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line.
Offensive line wasn't set. There's the flag, and 5 yards back they go.
Quarterback has to look around and make sure that his team is ready to go. Sometimes the quarterbacks go faster than is necessary.
So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now. 3rd and long.
Lance now to throw.
He'll dump this one off to Connor. And that's not nearly going to be enough. Stopped at the 22, and he needed plenty more. 3 yards, all they could muster there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
That's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
Here's Matt Gay now for the Bucs field goal. From the left hash, this from 39. Gay's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
So that maybe not a knockout blow, but I suppose certainly every little bit helps when you're trying to salt one away in the 4th.
Well, the possibility of being beaten by 2 late touchdowns or at least sent to overtime does exist, but time, definitely a big factor at this stage of the game, is in their favor.
Taken at the goal line. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20.
And the Steelers set to take the field.
And these guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out. Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Allen. He'll get this to his tight end, Gesicki. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh first.
Good yardage on the completion there, and when they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score, because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
Here's a give to Hall.
And he's able to get across midfield and down into Buccaneer territory.
180 yards rushing for him now, as he has been tremendous all day long.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently.
6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. You know, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
And here's Allen.
And this one is incomplete. So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. Allen now looks to throw. Touchdown! Bryan Edwards, 39 yards.
And the
Steelers have made it a one-score game again here in the fourth. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers. That meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Boswell good with the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown.
Taken in at the 3. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. Now it looks like we're going to get a stoppage here. An injured Steeler on that last play. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. After the touchdown we just saw, we have a brand new ball game. And now look at the situation. You got plenty of time on the clock. Defensively, they have 3 timeouts. So do you run the football here or do you throw it?
I think you have that full conversation with your offensive unit. And you tell them, here's the situation. They've got all of their timeouts, so we are not going to play this conservatively. We've got to attack them. We've got to make them use those, gain the ground that we need in order to put this game away. If you think we're just going to run it 3 times and punt it, you got another thing coming.
Yeah, and by the way, also the 2-minute warning in play, so essentially 4 timeouts left.
They have to be aggressive here.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on second down. Another try after the first down sack.
Lance, open man, that's the tight end Freiermuth.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down.
Now Lance. Unable to escape, and down he goes.
Deep forward, getting him once again, his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
Well, it's been a little bit of feast or famine because he's thrown for decent yardage, and obviously they've got the lead, Charles, but now he's been sacked 4 times.
And what I'm focusing on is his toughness in the pocket. Because you mentioned the feast or famine part. He's played well in between being tumped on his back. But every time he's had a chance to throw the football, he's been impressive.
Here comes the Buccaneers punter now. Standing right on his own 5-yard line.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game.
So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. They're looking at a 4th down now as they try to hold on to this lead for dear life. Good open field tackling there. A 50-yard punt followed by just a 1-yard return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
Josh Allen in the offense now. Down by 7. 1:53 remaining. They need a touchdown and the PAT to tie it as they come up 1st and 10.
Now Allen. They'll set up the screen for Hall.
No gain on the screen there at 2nd down.
Allen trying to hurry everybody up to the line of scrimmage. And meanwhile, Allen's throw taken in by Landry.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Allen.
This is caught by Hilton. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Flushed out right. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game.
Allen.
And he's got the hook up to Landry.
And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10.
Now another timeout called for by the offense as they get it with 26 seconds to go in the football game. And it's caught. It's a touchdown. So they rally here in the final minute, and they're an extra point away from tying this game.
And while it appears the heavy lifting was accomplished by scoring the touchdown, they're still down 1. That extra point is not a gimme.
does well for the extra point. And we are tied here in the fourth quarter. That time a 6-play drive. And the touchdown and PAT mean we are tied here in the final minute of play. Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild fourth quarter.
This will be fielded inside the 5. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
Now the Buccaneer offense gets set to take over.
Well, Charles, obviously not much time left. I'm curious to see if there's enough for them to get into field goal range and try to win this thing.
And partner, you and I both know the safe call is to kneel and just take it into overtime. But it's also very tough to pass up a chance to win it right now as well. But remember, if you do attempt that, it's got to be a big play downfield and still leave yourself enough time to get your field goal unit out there and kick for the win.
And we have free football overtime. Here we go, my friend.
And the way this game played out, this is exactly how it should end, going to overtime, because neither one got an advantage today.
It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
Taking it about the 1. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15.
And Tampa Bay trots out there now.
And everyone knows the OT rules, Charles, but pretty simple formula. They go down and get a field goal, we continue play, but if they can find the end zone on this possession, ball game over.
And as meticulously as all teams plan for a game, I don't doubt for a second on that offense coordinator's play sheet, he's got some overtime plays that he wants to run. I know it sounds crazy, but they plan for everything. 1st and 10 all the way throughout the game, 2nd and 7, whatever. Right now, he's looking at that play sheet saying, if we get to overtime, what can we break out that they haven't seen?
Lance with a first throw in overtime. That's complete to Peoples-Jones. And he is going to have a Bucs first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
From the gun, it's Lance.
Buying time to his left. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. The coverage may be too good that time as he breaks away for 19 with his legs and a first down.
Give him a little extra credit there. His head was cool as the play broke down. Didn't force a throw, and in the end, got to show off his athleticism with a nice gain to bring up a new set of downs.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 46.
And Lance going to throw.
He's going to have the hook up to Gage.
And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line. Now a play fake. Lance.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. So that'll go as a 4-yard loss on the play. And 3rd and 8 now.
Heck of a play there to get to him quickly and get him down for a loss.
I think they did a really nice job getting ready for this game, scouting, watching film, and understanding defensively what the play design was.
3rd and 8 situation. A tough spot here in overtime on the opening drive.
To throw, it's Lance.
He'll get that one complete to Connor. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 30. A 3rd down conversion with a strong gain of 14. Shaping up to be a very efficient opening drive here in overtime.
And can you feel the tension building? because I'm feeling it, all right? I've got the sweaty palms here with each play because of the enormity of what's going on. Each play means so much in overtime, and they're handling it well as this drive continues.
Throwing on first down is Lance. And that's going to be caught by Peoples-Jones. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20. Looking to throw again on second down. Lance, the throw left side, caught by the tight end Freiermuth. And they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Lance with a tap forward on the jet sweep. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. They're looking at a 2nd and 8 now from the 10. Connor up the middle. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Here's Lance to throw it. Out route, and he connects with Freiermuth. And this will not be enough. On 3rd and 5, he only gets 3.
Excellent job there defensively. Gave up the underneath to the tight end on 3rd down, and they made sure that they did their job. Got him on the ground and prevented him picking up a first down.
So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This to at least get them a lead here in overtime. And Gay knocks this one through, and with it, they have taken the lead. So they do get the short field goal here to get them the all-important overtime lead. But, Charles, you wonder if they'll wind up ruining the fact that they were able to get down into the red zone, yet not able to find the touchdown that would have won them the game.
Brandon, you're absolutely right. In overtime, when you get the ball first, the hope is your opponents never see the football. But now they're going to get a drive to try and win it, or at least keep the game alive with a field goal. And I'm getting a dictionary out to look up ruin.
First throw of overtime for Allen. And he rifles it complete, caught by Landry. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a 2nd and just a few inches left.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag. Because when you do, you just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space. A good gain on first. Has him set up with 2nd and just a couple of inches now from the 29. Now Allen. He's got it to Hilton. 2 minutes on the clock in overtime in a 3-point ball game. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Here's Allen. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Throwing is Allen. He gets it underneath to Hall.
5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. Now a timeout called for by the offense. They'll be down to just 1 remaining as we step aside here in overtime. The Bucs with an extra defender now in the secondary here on 3rd down.
Here's Allen.
Being chased out left. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th.
Allen.
And caught right side, Green.
And he is going to have the Steelers first down as that'll be a gain of 15 on 4th.
How about them biting off 15 yards there in the 4th down attempt and keeping the drive alive. Some big-time drama as the game continues. They had to have that 4th down conversion. They made it work.
And you and I have both seen play callers' play sheets, right? And a lot of them look like, menus at restaurants. They always have a special section for those plays when you absolutely have to have a first down, a touchdown, a big play. They went to that section right there and dialed that one up.
Allen to throw once more. Steps away to his left. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. And a stoppage here, a timeout before this third down play takes place. That's their second and last timeout here in the overtime session. We'll be back. So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. Now a timeout called for by the defense. They'll be left with just one remaining here at OT. Now Chris Boswell for the Steelers field goal try. This to potentially get out of here with a tie. And he got it. It's good. They answer with a field goal of their own to send this game to sudden death. Well, this one certainly has not lacked for intrigue. Well, let's keep playing. What do you say?
Fine by me. I'm loving what we're seeing here. This is a heck of a game. And now, guess what? A kicker may decide it again, and the next one that doesn't wins it.
This will be fielded inside the 5. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. Lance now on first down. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. And a penalty flag comes in as that one winds up incomplete, but the contact is going to move the ball well downfield. So a costly penalty yardage-wise as that'll move the football down to the spot of the foul.
And what the officials are looking for in these situations, whether you're playing the man or the ball. And if you're playing the man, you get a lot less leeway in terms of what's going to happen at the end of the play. But if you're looking for the football, it's less likely to draw the flag.
And for the visitors, it is going to be a happy flight home. It is always such a treat, Charles, in the NFL when you can go on the road and get a victory, and that's exactly what they accomplished here today.
The trip home so much sweeter, isn't it? All the noise they heard before, how tough it is to win on the road, how tough it is to play in this stadium, how hyped up that crowd's going to be. They just used it as fuel, came in full confidence, believed in themselves, and got it done.
So for the Buccaneers, their good start continues as they get their record up to 4-2. And they'll have another road date next week with the Carolina Panthers. Meanwhile, for Pittsburgh, the loss here will move them back to 500 at 3-3. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head down to Miami to take on the Dolphins.